In this lecture, we are studying about linkage and crossing over. We'll see the first part, that is linkage. What's the meaning of linkage? It is tendency of genes to remain together and inherit together. That is called as linkage. Now, what do you mean by gene? I think all of you remember, genes are the segment of DNA. We will see a diagram for the genes. See here, this is a diagram. Here it shows presence of a cell. Inside the cell, this nucleus is present, and inside the nucleus, these chromosomes are visible. So one of this chromosome is shown here in large diagram of a chromosome. These chromosomes, I think you remember that they are made up of DNA, histones and non-histone proteins in case of eukaryotes. Now see, this much part of the chromosome, here the enlarged diagram is shown, which shows the segment of DNA. So remember that this segment of DNA is called as gene. This is one more diagram. This is a chromosome and this much part is enlarged here, which shows this double-stranded DNA strand, and here this much part of the DNA, it is labeled as gene. So once again, segment of DNA is called as gene, which is responsible for inheritance of a particular character. Now this DNA, if you remember, it is a double-stranded structure and these two strands are joined together because of presence of this nitrogenous bases. So adenine combined with thymine and cytosine combined with guanine, and this double-stranded DNA structure is get formed. What is to be remembered here? It is for the presence of this gene, that means the segment of DNA. So I think idea about the gene is clear for you, and I think you remember that these several genes are present on the chromosomes. As the chromosomes are carriers of heredity, these genes have tendency to inherit together, and such genes are called as linked genes. So once again, definition of word linkage, that is tendency of genes to remain together and inherit together. Now see, another word, another term is there, that is linkage group. What's the meaning of this word linkage group? All the linked gene in a particular chromosome constitute linked gene. So what is the number of linkage group now? Number of linkage group corresponds to haploid number of chromosome or number of pair of chromosomes. Now see, if you remember, in case of human beings, we have 23 pairs of chromosomes. So we will be having 23 linkage group. So it corresponds to either haploid number of chromosome. In case of human being, haploid number of chromosome is 23. Or number of pair of chromosome, that is also 23 for human beings. So number of linkage group corresponds to haploid number of chromosomes. For human being it is 23. For Drosophila there are 4 linkage group. What does it mean? They have 4 pairs of chromosomes or their haploid number is 4. Similar is the case for garden pea plant. There are 7 linkage groups present. We can say that it consists of 7 pairs of chromosomes. Okay, so word linkage group and their numbers, and with some examples are mentioned here. This is one of the important sentence. Linkage group can be broken by crossing over during meiosis, which takes place during gamete formation. So these genes which are linked together, this linked gene can be separated from each other because of the process of crossing over, which involves recombination. What do you mean by recombination? Recombination is exchange of segment of maternal and paternal chromosomes, and because of that, linkage group can be broken. And this takes place during meiosis, during gamete formation. Meaning of this word, this sentence, it can be clear in the further part of the topic. Okay, so you have to remember for linkage group and their number. This paragraph of the number of linkage group, it is important, can be asked in MCQs. We'll see the next slide. Already we have studied this. Now, kinds of linkage, or we can say types of linkage. there are two types of linkage. First one is the complete linkage and second type is called as incomplete linkage. Meaning of word linkage, all of you know, it is the tendency of genes to remain together. So under complete linkage, the genes which are closely associated on the chromosomes, the genes showing complete linkage, they are closely associated on a chromosome and they do not separate during crossing over. As they are very much close to each other, there will be no separation during crossing over. And as there is no separation of these genes from each other, they will inherit together. The phenomenon of their inheritance, it is called as complete linkage, as they are linked together and they are completely inherited from one generation to other, it will become complete linkage. One of the example is there, that is the X chromosome of Drosophila of males. So tendency of genes to remain together means linkage, and when the genes link together, where they are very closely associated on a chromosome, they cannot separate and hence they inherit together. It is like a close friends. In your friend circle, 2 or 3 are very close to you. So what do you want? You want to be remain together for all activities. So like that, these genes also remain together. They are closely associated with each other and transferred together from one generation to other. That becomes complete linkage. What's the meaning of incomplete linkage? Remember that the genes which are widely distributed, which are away from each other, are called as the genes which shows incomplete linkage. Okay, so these genes are widely present on a gene or they are away from each other. We can say they are distantly located from each other. And as they are distantly located, as they are away from each other, they separate during crossing over. And as they are separated from each other, they cannot inherit together. Their phenomenon of inheritance is called as incomplete linkage. One of the example is there, for example, in Siamese, color and shape of the green. Okay, so this is theoretically explained here, how the genes which are closely associated, what does it mean? Again, in the previous diagram, we'll see. This is a diagram. This part of the DNA segment, it is called as gene. If you consider this whole diagram of a chromosome, it will be consisting of many genes. So genes which are remain together, which are closely associated. For example, we'll consider that in this part, some genes are located which are very close to each other. So for inheritance also, they will inherit together. That will become complete linkage. We can consider that some genes are present here on this upper part and some genes are present here. That means these are distantly located genes. So these distantly located genes, they show incomplete linkage as they cannot inherit together. Okay, so remember this difference between complete linkage and incomplete linkage along with their examples. Difference can be asked for 2 marks. Now we'll study about sex-linked inheritance or sex linkage. And for that, you must remember about the structure of X chromosome and Y chromosomes. I think you remember. Once again, we will see the diagram for X-linked and Y-linked genes. In the previous lecture, you have studied about the structure of X and Y chromosome. Once again, we'll repeat this. This diagram is for sex chromosome. This longer one is the X chromosome, shorter one is the Y chromosome. Both are rod shaped. Some part of X and Y chromosome are similar becomes homologous region, and remaining part which is not similar is called as non-homologous region. Before also we have studied that genes present on non-homologous part of X chromosome are called as X-linked or sex-linked genes, and genes present on non-homologous region of Y chromosome are called as Y-linked genes or whole andric genes. So this transmission of what? X-linked genes. We'll consider this transmission of these genes which are present on non-homologous part of X chromosome. Their inheritance is called as sex-linked inheritance. And inheritance of genes present on non-homologous region of Y chromosomes, it is called as Y-linked inheritance. Okay, so we have to study in detail about the sex linkage, sex-linked inheritance. So, sex-linked inheritance or sex linkage, it is transmission of X-linked and Y-linked genes from parents to offspring, is sex-linked inheritance or sex linkage as explained before. There are two types of sex linkage. First one is called as incomplete sex linkage, other one is called as complete sex linkage. What is the difference between these two? See, this is for incomplete sex linkage. We will see this before. Incompletely sex-linked genes are located on homologous region of X and Y chromosome, while completely sex-linked genes are located on non-homologous region of X and Y chromosome. Where on which part crossing over takes place? Crossing over takes place in the homologous region of X and Y chromosome. In the previous lecture also I told you that, remember that sentence, crossing over takes place on homologous region of X and Y chromosome. As crossing over takes place on homologous region of X and Y chromosome, these genes cannot inherit together. Because of crossing over, they get separated from each other, and because of that they cannot inherit together, and because of that only, as they cannot inherit together, this mode of inheritance is called as incomplete sex linkage, and inheritance becomes incomplete sex linked inheritance. Examples mentioned are total color blindness, retinitis pigmentosa. Okay, so this is about incomplete sex linkage. What is important? They are located on homologous region of X and Y chromosome, which shows crossing over. What is about complete sex linkage? These genes are located on non-homologous region of X and Y chromosome, which do not undergoes crossing over, and because of that they cannot separate from each other and inherit together, and so it becomes complete sex-linked inheritance. Examples mentioned are red-green color blindness, hemophilia and myopia. Okay, so this is about sex-linked inheritance or sex linkage. We'll see about crossing over. This crossing over, concept of crossing over, which we have used in the linkage, complete linkage, incomplete linkage, as well as complete sex linkage, and in case of incomplete sex linkage. So what is this crossing over? Crossing over is a process that produces new combinations. As new combinations are produced, process is called as recombination of genes takes place. It takes place by interchanging and exchanging of corresponding segments between non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosomes. When it takes place during packaging of meiosis 1, which is the actual reductional division, involving 4 steps: synapsis, tetrade formation, crossing over and terminalization. Remember that it is universal and required process for natural selection, as it increases the chances of survival. We'll see diagrammatically what is crossing over. Now see, we have homologous chromosomes. This homologous chromosome, this is one of the homologous chromosome, this is second chromosome, that means they are present in pair, morphologically and genetically similar chromosomes. Diagram is shown here in the form of tetrade, which is get formed already. So this tetrade of paternal chromosome, blue color will consider this paternal one, and red color we'll consider this is the maternal chromosome. So it have 4 chromatids, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the sister chromatid of this paternal chromosome. This is maternal chromosome having 4 chromatids. So these are sister chromatids of each other. This process of crossing over takes place between non-sister chromatids. Here this diagram, second one. It shows this crossing of non-sister chromatids. This is the cross formation which is called as chiasma. So this chiasma is get formed, and once the chiasma is get formed, segment of maternal chromosome is get attached to paternal chromosome, and part of paternal chromosome is found attached to maternal chromosome, which is visible here. We have considered this is a paternal chromosome, and to this part of maternal chromosome is get attached. This is maternal chromosome to which this part of paternal chromosome is get attached. That means what happens? Here there is exchange of segment of maternal and paternal chromosome takes place. Process is called as recombination. Here this is recombinant chromatids is mentioned here. So here this is the recombination. Here this 2 segment shows recombination, and these 2 are the non-recombinant chromatids. So this process of exchange of segment of maternal and paternal chromosome, it is called as recombination, which takes place during crossing over, which is the main process taking place in the process of meiosis. And all of you remember that meiosis takes place during gamete formation. As this recombination takes place, it results in variation of the characters in the new bonds. So this is the main cause of variation. So this crossing over, which takes place in meiosis 1, remember that it takes place during prophase. If you remember, prophase consists of 5 substages. Of this, one is Pachytene. So this Pachytene involves crossing over. Okay, so whatever there is on the slide, its definition, then exchanging of the corresponding segment between non-sister chromatid, one of the important part of this, and taking place Pachytene during Pachytene of the meiosis, Pachytene 1 of the meiosis, involving 4 steps. Synapsis means the pairing of homologous chromosome, then there will be tetrad formation, there will be crossing over, that is the chiasma formation, and once the chiasma formation takes place, there will be exchange of segment of maternal and paternal chromosome, and later on they get separate during the process of terminalization. Okay, so this can be asked for MCQs. It's a very important and common part of the meiosis, which you have studied in 11th standard in cell division. Okay, so this is all about crossing over. Diagram is not there in the textbook. This diagram of crossing over is not there in the textbook. Only for understanding, for your proper understanding, this diagram is taken here. Okay, so this is crossing over. After this, we have to study about autosomal inheritance. What is the meaning of word autosomes? Autosomes means the chromosomes which are responsible for all body characters except sex. Okay, so human somatic cell consists of 23 pairs of chromosomes. You know that. 23 or 46 chromosomes are present. 23 pairs or 46 chromosomes. Of these 23 pairs, 22 are autosomes which control body characters, which controls variety of body characters or traits other than sex. So these traits are called as autosomal linked traits. That means traits or the characters which are linked to the autosome, which are linked to the chromosomes which are responsible for maintaining body characters. Okay, so we are studying about autosomal inheritance. What does it mean? Transmission of body characters from parents to offspring through autosomes is called as autosomal inheritance. We have studied before sex chromosomes, X and Y type. We have studied about sex determination. We have studied about linkage also. Linkage taking place with the autosomes, and linkage can be takes place through sex chromosomes. We are studying about autosomal inheritance. So the meaning of word autosome means the chromosomes controlling body characters, and the traits or the characters associated with autosomes will become autosomal linked traits, and their inheritance will become autosomal inheritance. See, these autosomal traits, some of them are influenced by dominant genes, while some of them are influenced by recessive genes which are present on autosomes. What do you mean by dominant? Which can express themselves in F1 generation, and which cannot express themselves in F1 generation are called as recessive genes. We'll see the examples. Example is autosomal dominant trait like widow's peak and Huntington's disease. An example of autosomal recessive traits are phenylketonuria, cystic fibrosis and sickle cell anemia. We'll see the details of the first one, that is autosomal dominant trait, example widow's peak. So widow's peak, what is the meaning of this word widow's peak? For understanding of widow's peak, we will see a diagram. Here this diagram, it shows this V-shaped hairline. So the person having a V-shaped hairline means they consist of widow's peak. And this is diagram where there is no widow's peak, straight hairline is there. Okay, so widow's peak, presence of this V-shaped hairline, it is a autosomal dominant trait. And no widow's peak, that means your recessive genes are present. Okay, so what is this widow's peak? Widow's peak is prominent V-shaped hairline on the forehead, as we have seen in the diagram. It is a autosomal dominant trait. So as it is a dominant trait, it will be controlled by a gene W. So when this gene W is present in homozygous condition, or if it is present in heterozygous condition, what is it? Capital W and small w. So the individuals having homozygous dominant condition or heterozygous condition will be having widow's peak. Why? Because this is caused by dominant gene, and this dominant gene W is dominant over small w, and hence its expression of presence of widow's peak is seen. And the individual with homozygous recessive, that is small w type of genotype have straight line, as we have seen in the diagram. Remember that both males and females have equal chances of inheritance. So remember, widow's peak is the example of autosomal dominant trait. So diagram, we have seen this V-shaped hairline for widow's peak, and this is for the no widow's peak or straight hairline. We'll see another example. It is for autosomal recessive gene. Example is phenylketonuria. It is an inborn metabolic disorder caused due to autosomal recessive gene. I think you remember that expression of recessive gene takes place when this recessive gene is present in pair. Because if a dominant gene is present along with this recessive gene, then dominant gene will express itself. So phenylketonuria is autosomal recessive gene. It is because of autosomal recessive gene, and hence double gene or pair of gene is required. What's the meaning of inborn? It is present right from birth. So it is present right from birth and metabolic disorder because of autosomal recessive gene. When recessive genes are present in homozygous condition, phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme is not produced. See, what is the condition? When recessive gene is present in homozygous condition. suppose we are going to consider for small p for phenylketonuria, then small p will be the homozygous condition. So if this recessive gene is present in homozygous condition, this phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme will not be produced. What is the function of this phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme? It is essential for conversion of amino acid phenylalanine to the tyrosine. That means in normal condition, this phenylalanine will be converted to the tyrosine. But as this enzyme is absent, which enzyme? This phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme is not present. Why? Because of presence of recessive gene in homozygous condition. So this enzyme will not be present, and because of this phenylalanine is not converted to tyrosine, and hence phenylalanine and its derivative accumulate in blood and in CSF. What is CSF? It is cerebrospinal fluid. So what happens? This phenylalanine is accumulated in blood and in cerebrospinal fluid. So what is the role of this phenylalanine? It affects development of brain and causes mental retardation. And this excess phenylalanine is excreted in urine. Hence it is called as phenylketonuria. This word urea is related with urine. So presence of phenylalanine in urine, it becomes phenylketonuria. It is because of autosomal recessive genes when it is present in homozygous condition. So remember, these two, widow's peak and phenylketonuria, note can be asked or MCQ can be framed on this. So it is easy to understand and easy to write. So what we have studied in this lecture? We have studied about linkage, its type, then sex linkage, its type, crossing over, and autosomal inheritance with the examples. What are the examples? Widow's peak and phenylketonuria. Remaining part will continue in the next lecture.